Hello, good evening and welcome to News 360, live from our studio here at Adesanwe Kanda in Accra. I am Martin.
And I'm Grace Hamwajuman. Coming up tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Tonight, Minority Caucus denies selling state buses to cronies as it blames the current government for failing to effectively maintain public transport systems.
Also coming up, Ghana extends troop stay in Jamaica by 30 days to support post-disaster reconstruction.
And there was drama at the Accra High Court as Abu Trika is rearrested by the Narcotics Control Commission shortly after being discharged by the court.
In business tonight, financial analysts project CD rise to 42% appreciation in 2026, outperforming record-breaking 40% in 2025.
And on the international front, Uganda's military chief, Muhoozi, denies claims soldiers assaulted wife of opposition leader Bobi Wine during a raid at their home. We have details of all these stories and more. And in entertainment, the biggest news in Ghana is that the popular YouTube streamer Speed, or iShow Speed, is in Ghana to a rousing applause. He's been around town. We'll give you details of that later in entertainment.
Right, let's begin the bulletin from here. And personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces stationed in Wale in the Northeast region have assaulted allegedly the North Regional Correspondent of Media General while he was recording an exercise being conducted by the soldiers. Solomon Kwame Kanawule reported that the soldiers were carrying out an operation unknown to the Municipal Security Coordinator, who is also the Municipal Chief Executive. It is reported that the Municipal Chief Executive ordered a roadblock to demand an explanation from the soldiers. The soldiers reportedly failed to provide a satisfactory explanation to the MCE, who insisted on answers as the road remained blocked. The reporter filmed the actions of the soldiers, who became infuriated, seized his phone and subjected him to severe beatings. Two of the military personnel allegedly used sticks and whips on his back several times, accusing the reporter of parking his motorbike in an unauthorized area. His disclosure that he was a journalist was ignored by the soldiers, who continued assaulting him. Well, we'll bring you more details on that assault by our Northeast Regional Correspondent, Solomon Kanawule.
On to some other stories. The minority in Parliament has questioned the purpose and timing of the ongoing engagements by Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni to keep state institutions describing a thank you tour for his appointment. They have asked the president to resist the temptation to run a third term while vowing to block speedy passage of bills in the upcoming sitting of Parliament. Christian Yale reports.
From his appointment as the acting Chief Justice to his vetting, the minority opposed every process towards confirming Paul Bafo-Boni as the head of the judiciary. They continue to litigate the manner in which CJ Getri Tokonu was removed from office and why Parliament could not wait until all her pending legal cases were resolved. And now they have concerns over Paul Bafo-Boni's visit to state agencies.
We have seen that my Lord Bafo-Boni and his management are all over at the various ministries, including Jubilee. Is my Lord Bafo-Boni on a thank you tour, thanking the government for appointing him as a Chief Justice. We, the minority, don't see him as a tolerant head of the judiciary because members of the minority came under attack when we criticized the processes leading to his nomination. We will therefore not be part of his thank you tour.
Afenyo-Making believes the current economic gains are due to the IMF program and the windfall. And he has called for answers concerning the $214 million losses made under the Good for Reserves program.
How can you give money to Gold Board to buy gold and they make losses because of exchange rate differences? What is happening amount to a financial loss to the state? If indeed we are going to have a gold for oil reserves, the government must take steps to sustain it by ensuring that there's real profits.
He reiterated their position on the lithium agreement and called for the lands minister's resignation. But on the anti-LGBTQ bill, he accused government of double standard.
In the 8th Parliament, when they were in opposition, they told the whole world that there was a need to pass an anti-LGBT law. 1 year down the line, they've been in office. They have gone quiet on this anti-LGBT law. We don't accept this. We hold a view that the NDC used the anti-LGBT law only for power. And now that they are facing the reality, they want to find a way of running away from it. We will insist that they act by their own principle.
Then he sent a direct message to President Mahama.
Mr. President, we are aware that many of your party members want to push the agenda. Please tell them one more time. Maybe when you said so in Singapore, they didn't hear you. Mr. President, you haven't spoken about your non-interest in third term in Ghana. Please, tell your people that you are not interested at all. They shouldn't lead you into temptation. And by the way, it is not possible.
The minority has vowed to scrutinize government policies going into this sitting, which commences next week, February 3rd. But they also say that they would block every attempt to rush the passage of bills under certificate of urgency. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Parliament.
And still with the minority, they have denied claims that moving buses were sold to cronies of the past government at uncompetitive prices. Speaking to the public transport crisis in the capital, the caucus accused government of failing to maintain an effective system despite the fleet of buses they left, which currently government couldn't manage.
In auctioning of the buses that you are talking about, before any bus is being auctioned, it has to be certified by the Board of Survey. It is not true that buses were sold at a peanut. No movable buses were sold to any cronies. It is a palpable lies which being thrown out because of the recent event that is happening under this government. They are trying to just equalize, make an equalization. Once we resume, the minority is going to call for that. And we'll have a public inquiry for Ghanaians to know the truth behind. Let us face the fact. There are challenges.
We submit further that this government has failed the Ghanaian people in the most basic duty of a modern state, to move its citizens safely and decently from one part of their own country to another. In 2026, at major terminals from Circle to Kaneshi and Medina, hundreds of Ghanaians are stranded for hours because the national fleet has collapsed from over 1,000 public buses to barely more than 100 in operation.
The Chief Justice, Paul Bafoboni, has emphasized the need to protect judicial staff from attacks and ensure security for court premises and judicial officers. During a visit to the Ghana Police Service in Accra, the Chief Justice discussed ways to enhance collaboration between the judiciary and the police.
The Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni's visit to the police headquarters here in Accra is part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the relationship between the judiciary and law enforcement agencies. Justice Bafo-Boni emphasized the importance of protecting judicial staff from attacks and ensuring security for court premises and judicial officers. He also highlighted the need for effective evidence gathering and preservation, as well as the need to address delays in prosecution. The Chief Justice, Paul Bafo-Boni, was sworn into office on November 17, 2025 by President John Mahama following his nomination and parliamentary approval. In the latter part of 2025 and this year, he has been engaging in high-level courtesy calls and meetings with key security and government officials to strengthen interinstitutional cooperation. He met with the Ghana Prison Service to discuss the need for collaboration between the judiciary, police and prison services to improve the criminal justice system, specifically addressing remand inmates' delays. He also paid a courtesy call on the Education Minister Haruna Idrisu, Finance Minister Dr. Kasiela Tuforsen to discuss support for the judiciary, where he highlighted the need to address court congestion.
And talking about the judiciary, drama unfolded at the corridors of the Accra High Court when officials of the Narcotics Control Commission suspended the joy of alleged fraud and remand scam suspect Abu Treka by rearresting him shortly after the court discharged him. Frederick Kunzu, Frederick Kumi and two others had pleaded not guilty to charges of defrauding by false pretense and money laundering. Here is Lord Idwasari's report.
Early on Monday, January 26, the Gbese District Court discharged Abu Treka and two alleged accomplices, Lord Ishan and Bernard Edu, after the state withdrew the charges against them. Abu Treka is facing romance fraud allegations for which the United States of America has submitted a request to the Ghanaian authorities for his extradition. At the High Court, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai informed the court that the prosecution had filed a notice of withdrawal against Abu Treka, Lord Ishan, and Bernard Edu, and hence noted that the applications by the applicants had become moot. Lawyers of Abu Treka and Bernard Edu had filed separate applications to quash the proceedings before the Gbese District Court and their discharge. Oliver Bakavomawo told the court that despite the prosecution withdrawing the charges against his client, he was still in detention. Responding to the statements, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai intimated that steps would be taken for his discharge. After hearing both counsel, the presiding judge struck out the application, holding that the discharge of the applicant meant the certiorari application had become moot. Abu Treka was, however, rearrested by officials of the Narcotics Control Commission on the corridors of the High Court after proceedings ended. Counsel for Bernard Edu, one of the alleged accomplices of Abu Treka, expressed satisfaction at the notice of withdrawal by the prosecution.
The state had nothing against the two others. So that's what we preach for from day one. And if the Attorney General has seen light in that and done the answer, we welcome the decision of the court. Taking back to the narcotics headquarters, I'm yet to know why they are there, but I believe it's for administrative purposes. So whatever transpires there, I'll let you.
Lord Idwasari, TVC News, Accra.
The Ghana Law Society has dismissed claims of being aligned with the governing National Democratic Congress. President of the society, that is Roxy Nelson Dapamepo, made the remarks after a press conference was cut short following a lawsuit against the society.
Lawyer Yao Inimbwedu filed a lawsuit against the Ghana Law Society, the General Legal Counsel, and the Registrar of Companies, challenging the legality of the society's operations. He argues its activities breach statute and undermine regulation of professional bodies. The motion challenging its legality is expected to be heard on February 4, 2026. As a result, the Ghana Law Society on Monday, January 26, postponed its media briefing, but insists the injunction does not affect its activities.
Out of respect for the court and as officers of the court, we want to withhold our press statement or our comments to the press regarding the Ghana Law Society as established under law, and our activities and our policies and programs for our members, our professional colleagues, who abide the outcome. And if you look at some other processes that we've cited, there's supposed to be a motion or notice slated for hearing on the 4th of February.
Dafia Mekpo rejected suggestions that the group is made up of NDC lawyers, saying their breakaway from the Ghana Bar Association was due to its loss of relevance, not politics.
Is the Ghana Bar Association a group of MPP lawyers? Is that why they are worried? So we are not a group of NDC lawyers. We are a group of Ghanaian lawyers who have come to the bitter realization that the Ghana Bar Association has lost its luster and glamour, lost its purpose. You pay 1,200 every year, basic, as a member every year, annual dues. You don't know how that is put to. Members have crisis and nobody comes to their aid as a group. If you see a lot of NDC lawyers in our membership, it is by freedom, voluntary association and orientation. They have the right to belong to any association of their choosing.
Lawyer Yao Enimbuedu is seeking to remove the Ghana Law Society from the Register of Professional Bodies and secure a perpetual injunction against its executive and members.
We stay on matters about the courts, and two prominent figures of the New Patriotic Party, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng and Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, together with a National Democratic Congress stalwart, Dr. Christine Amoakunyama, have invoked the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to challenge the internal voting structures of Ghana's major political parties. The plaintiffs, through their counsel, Oliver Baka-Vomawo, are seeking a true and proper interpretation of the 1992 Constitution regarding how political parties elect their presidential and parliamentary candidates. So I'll take you through a number of the reliefs they are seeking, which include that electing candidates is a core element of a party's internal organization under Article 55(5) of the Constitution. Again, they are praying the court to rule in their favor or interpret that party structures must ensure equal political participation and equal voting rights for all members. Again, they are praying the court to insist or state that democratic principles require meaningful and broad participation, accountability of leadership, and substantially equal and direct voting rights. And finally, they're saying that delegate-based electoral college and extraordinary constituency delegate conference systems declared unconstitutional, null and void. And that's one other thing they're asking the court to declare, that delegate-based electoral college and extraordinary constituency delegates conference systems to be declared unconstitutional, null and void. Full details of this will be found on our website, 3news.com.
Well, let's do some election-related issues, because the National Democratic Congress Ayawaso East parliamentary primaries are shaping up to be a contest between experience and fresh ambition, with 6 aspirants officially entering the race. Nomination forms have been picked. The field is set, and the internal contest to lead the party into the March 3 by-election has formally begun. My colleague Noble Crosby-Annan engaged one of the new faces in the constituency and has more in this report.
6 aspirants, some familiar faces and others relatively new, have picked nomination forms to contest the NDC Ayawaso East parliamentary primaries. One of the new faces in the race is Alhaji Abdul Salam Mohammed Daru. Though he may be perceived by some as a newcomer to active frontline politics, Daru insists he is no stranger to the Ayawaso East constituency. He says his decision to contest is driven by a deep sense of duty and a call to serve the people.
The motivation is about service. The young people within the community feel this is the time for the community to be led by a young person. There is a certain realization among the young people that young people must lead. That is what is new. And this is a new energy, a new paradigm, a new direction.
Daru maintains that over the years he has contributed his quota to the development of the constituency and believes those efforts place him in a strong position ahead of the primaries. Touching on his vision for Ayawaso East, Alhaji Abdul Salam Mohammed says his focus will be on human resources and capacity development, improved infrastructure, healthcare delivery, education, amongst others. He adds that his ambition is to build on the legacy of the late Member of Parliament, Ahmed Nasir Toure, while responding to the pressing needs of the constituency.
We're also looking at continuity of the works of the late Honorable, in as much as somebody who can appeal to the other groupings and all of that. My really focus and will be and will continue to be around building the human resource, giving them opportunities, building capacity. Beyond that is health. We have a lot of drug addiction issues. I will want to ensure that we will have a rehabilitation center in the middle of Nima. The Nima market is key. We need to ensure that the market is given facelift. So beyond that is also infrastructure.
As the March 3 by-election draws closer, it remains to be seen whether delegates in the Ayawaso East constituency will hand him the nod to represent the party on the ticket of the NDC.
In more news this evening, Professor Mike Okwe, former Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, has asked the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa to be mindful of his utterances and learn from those ahead of him. Mr. Ablakwa's critics claim that his utterances have angered the United States to implement negative policies against Ghana. Professor Mike Okwe spoke earlier to Beatrice Edu.
When you come to such positions, naturally, there's a little bit of over-enthusiasm, but foreign affairs is very, very systematized. It's a place of serious people, really. They've got some of the best qualities of human beings in Ghana, honestly. And you find that many presidents went for secretary to the cabinet from that ministry. It's a powerful place. I will only advise my good friend and younger brother that he must listen more to the powerful men that he has got there. The people are there. Those ambassadorial caliber of people, they are there. Use them more.
And Ghana has officially extended the stay of its troops deployed to Jamaica to support post-disaster reconstruction beyond the initial 90-day period, paying a courtesy call on Jamaica's Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. A Ghanaian delegation led by the Minister for Foreign Affairs and the Deputy Defense Minister announced that President Mahama has approved an additional 30 days for the troops to remain in the country.
The visit to Jamaica forms part of an inspection tour to assess the activities of Ghanaian troops deployed to assist in rebuilding affected communities following Hurricane Melissa. Following a formal request by Jamaica's Minister for Foreign Affairs for an extension of the deployment, Foreign Affairs Minister Okudzeto-Ablakwa confirmed that President Mahama had granted approval for the troops to stay for a further 30 days to complete ongoing reconstruction works.
This was originally planned to be a 30-day operation. We call it Operation Boafo. Boafo in the Akan language means to assist, to help. So Operation Boafo was originally scheduled to last for 30 days. They asked for an extension because of the extent of devastation. And that was extended to about 15th February. But after assessment yesterday, we decided to extend again. And the president of Ghana has graciously permitted us to continue with Operation Boafo for another 90 days.
In response, Prime Minister Andrew Holness expressed appreciation to President Mahama and the people of Ghana for their timely support and solidarity since the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa.
Personal gratitude and the gratitude of people of Jamaica. He was very responsive to our calls, and we spoke a few times, and he was very quick in mobilizing the resources, which shows his own concern and his own heart towards Jamaica and the region.
Hurricane Melissa caused widespread damage in parts of Jamaica, leaving several communities with destroyed homes, damaged public infrastructure, and disrupted livelihoods. In the wake of the disaster, international partners including Ghana provided technical and humanitarian assistance to support recovery and reconstruction efforts.
And talking about Ghanaians who are assisting people elsewhere, 130 trained health professionals have departed for Antigua and Barbuda on a 3-year contract subject to renewal under the health module of the Ghana Labour Exchange Program. Ghana is actively implementing a government-led nurse export strategy to address high unemployment among trained nurses and generate foreign revenue. The program is driven by a surplus of trained nurses, with roughly 74,000 qualified nurses unemployed, and projections are reaching about 180,000 nurses by 2028.
For the government of Antigua and Barbuda, the decision to recruit nurses from Ghana is a necessary intervention to address persistent staffing shortages in the country's healthcare system. 43-year-old Achia Menu is among the 130 health professionals on this exchange program. For her, this opportunity means the world, coming after several failed attempts to work overseas.
To be frank, I love the beach, even though I don't know how to swim. A lot of beaches, 360 beaches, and then their carnival is perfect. The road, amenities, all nicely. And then we are not paying for tax. The money is also good. They are going to give us transportation, free food, free accommodation.
Although she previously had the opportunity to work briefly in Saudi Arabia, she says the experience cannot be compared to what Antigua and Barbuda offers. Still, she believes there's a lot Ghana can learn.
If I'm sick, why should I pay for it? I'm not happy with it at all. And I was working in the theater. When you go to the theater, you don't get a chance of going outside to buy food. And giving us food is another wahala. They don't provide food. But other places where I went to Saudi before, they were giving us food 3 times a day.
Under the arrangement, all 130 professionals are on secondment, meaning their jobs in Ghana are secured and they can return home at any time.
My colleagues out there, don't be in a haste, don't be worried. It is always a queue, and definitely it will get to your turn.
While Ghana may be exporting labor to support other economies, the sector minister, Kwabena Mita Kando, insists the issue is not about availability, as the country has more than enough health workers. Inheriting a backlog of over 80,000 trained nurses, the sector minister explains that limited resources, not numbers, are responsible for the high unemployment rate.
The debate has been the fact that we do not have health workers in our various health facilities, but we are exporting health workers. That is not it. The availability of health professionals in this country is not a problem.
And 34 garage cars burnt, over 20 shops reduced to ashes. That was the extent of horror scores of artisans and mechanical shop operators had to endure on Sunday night. In a moment of uncontrolled blaze, a nearby fire station had no tender. William Evans and Kwame Buffalo reveal the untold story of the recent Sofo Line fire disaster.
Anguish, anxiety, fortunes turning into ashes, smoke billowing into the thick dark clouds. Onlookers and owners of lighted shops watch helplessly. Just half a kilometer away is this fire station, but with no fire tender. Over 2 years, it is only a building with stationed officers. In the thick of affairs, these firefighters had to be drawn from Bremen, several kilometers away, to fight a ravaging fire. 34 garaged vehicles burnt. Over 20 containers filled with spare parts, no more.
Fire tender station ha kambasa me am drive car ko kaino asa na offer say trek adai the fire tender ha nye sure say dia no betumi
The MC for Kwadaso, Eric Asibe, says their preliminary investigation point to an avoidable situation.
Them fire in a way
what we gathered there emanated from a certain refuse or the rubbish that an unknown person set fire into.
The MP for Kwadaso, Professor Kingsley Nyakun, says he will push for a fire tender.
I'm going to take it upon myself to have discussion with the Minister for the Interior, Honorable Haji Mubarak Muntaka, to see how they can get us a fire tender. Not only
victims of Sunday's fire continue to count their loss.
Very unfortunate disaster there. Away from that, Best Brain Publication Limited has launched a STEM quiz competition aimed at promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education among basic school pupils. The maiden edition of the quiz is expected to run from February to May this year, with 32 basic schools set to participate.
The initiative, dubbed the Best Brain STEM Quiz, is designed to stimulate interest in STEM subjects at the basic school level and help nurture critical thinking and problem-solving skills among young learners. Speaking at the launch, the Chief Executive Officer of Best Brain Publication Limited, Henrik Atabayebua, said the competition forms part of the company's commitment to supporting quality education and preparing pupils for future careers in science and technology.
At Best Brain, we believe that nurturing a passion for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that is STEM, education is crucial for Ghana's development. That is why we are excited to bring together talented students from 32 schools to showcase their skills, creativity, and innovation.
The quiz will involve 32 selected basic schools in its maiden edition, with plans to expand participation in subsequent years. The Ashanti Regional Deputy Director of the Ghana Education Service, Thomas Boateng, commended Best Brain Publication for the initiative, describing it as timely and aligned with the GES curriculum.
You are not only shaping the intellectual abilities of our young learners, but also preparing them for the demand of the fourth industrial revolution and the future world of work.
Erasmus Asamoah Kujo is the Director of Royal Robotics STEM Education.
With our robotics program, we will give participants hands-on experience with design, coding, and problem-solving skills.
Organizers say the competition will test pupils in mathematics, science, and general problem solving, with prizes set to reward excellence and innovation. The quiz competition will be aired on TV3 from February 16.
So live on TV3, this is News 360. Stay with us. When we return, we'll let you know what's happening in the world of business.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obudu. Now, finance and tax analyst Nelson Kujo-Kwagbeji is forecasting a robust year for the local currency, projecting the cedi to appreciate optimistically to up to 42% throughout 2026. Now, this anticipated performance would see the cedi outpace its own impressive 40% gain recorded in 2025, signaling sustained confidence in the country's macroeconomic recovery.
An IMF report which tracked more than 20 major economies across the continent revealed that the cedi appreciated by 40% against the dollar in 2025. Nelson Kwagbeji's forecast signals a growing consensus among financial experts that Ghana's macroeconomic recovery is not merely a 9-day wonder, but a sustained upward trajectory.
Ended 2025 with over $14 billion in terms of reserve. So all these factors actually contributed towards the stability of the cedi. So we expect the Ghana cedi in 2026 to do a little over what it did in 2025. We expect the Ghana cedi to perform well over 42% in 2026.
Financial economist Dr. Eric Boachi-Yadom noted sustaining gains of currency is key for continued confidence in the economy.
Prioritizing the cedi is good, but let's do it in a way that the market will control, be able to supply a huge portion of the dollars needed in the forex trading. You know, in this year also, we are expecting the government to move into full swing of activities by implementing its major policies. What will be its effect on inflation?
This remarkable recovery marks a significant turnaround from previous years of volatility, positioning Ghana at the forefront of African currency stability.
Now, the Bank of Ghana says while macroeconomic conditions have improved, monetary policy decisions going forward will require caution and careful judgment. Opening the first Monetary Policy Committee meeting of 2026, Governor Dr. Johnson Isiama stressed that the priority now is to lock in stability and ensure recent gains are sustainable.
Governor Dr. Johnson Isiama acknowledged that recent policy choices are yielding results, but cautioned against focusing on past successes.
The meeting is about how we respond to that improvement and how we ensure that decisions taken today, the decisions we take, remain robust under scrutiny tomorrow.
He said the challenge before the committee is how to adjust policy without undermining credibility, noting that improved conditions do not automatically justify easing.
So these are not mechanical choices at all, colleagues. They require our judgment, they require our balance, and they require a clear focus on our mandates going forward.
The governor also pointed to foreign exchange stability, the domestic gold purchase program, and external accountability as critical issues shaping deliberations.
The upcoming IMF review in April 2026 will be based on end December 2025 data. So this committee is therefore among the very first to rigorously assess the indicators central to program performance.
The Monetary Policy Committee meeting runs for 3 days, with markets closely watching for signals on the direction of interest rates when the Bank of Ghana announces its decision on Wednesday, January 28, 2026.
Now, insurance regulations consultant William Akita has thrown his weight behind the Ministry of Finance's new directive requiring all cargo imports to Ghana to be insured by local insurance companies starting February 1, 2026. Speaking to 3 Business, Mr. Akita highlighted that the successful implementation of this directive is a game changer for the domestic market.
This directive will not only boost the capacity of our local insurance companies, but will also help improve insurance penetration in the country. Insurance regulations consultant William Akita noted this will ultimately sustain the growth of the entire industry.
We want to build the capacity
of what? Local Ghanaian insurance companies. Number two, we also want to what? Mobilize what? Local revenue for the Ghanaian economy. By so doing, we'll be able to grow the economy. If we are not able to do this, and we always shift this risk to foreign companies, a Ghana man will say, you do it yourself. As we speak, the insurance penetration in the market is very, very low, less than 2%. So this directive is there to shore up premiums for the local insurance market and also build the capacity of underwriting companies.
This move is anchored in Section 222 of the Insurance Act 2021, Act 1061, aims at ending cattle flight and which is to be enforced by the Ghana Revenue Authority, mandates that all commercial imports be covered by locally licensed underwriters.
Have a business, or if you have a cargo and you are not insuring it locally and you are pushing it to foreign companies, it means the city we have here, you have to change it to dollars and pay premium. Then we are saying that no, don't somersault your cities into dollars. You can do the businesses locally because we've built the capacity of underwriting companies. So you don't need to push money from the system. We need to retain the premiums here so that it will drive market penetration in the country.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. We'll bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market.
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. The Ghana Premier League is entering its decisive phase as match day 20 wrapped up over the weekend, with both Asante Kotoko and Heart of Oak securing impressive victories. My colleague Mutala Yakubu breaks down all the key talking points.
Match day 20 of the Ghana Premier League delivered exciting goals and notable results. Heart of Oak opened the round in style, recording their biggest win of the season with a commanding 3-0 victory over bottom place 11 Wonders. After drawing with Dreams FC on match day 19, the Phobians were eager to respond, and they needed less than 10 minutes to take the lead as Mauliwayo struck early. Second half goals from Kakari and Osasibi sealed the emphatic win. Despite the strong performance, Heart coach Didi Dramani insists there's still more room for improvements.
3-0 win in a game, but I think that we still need to be more clinical, and then we need to be more conventional, and then also making the right decisions in very key moments.
11 Wonders coach Emmanuel Edu, meanwhile, admitted his players failed to execute the game plan.
That means Yambobo, because the result is what matters most, you know. I think today I'm really disappointed in the boys because it's just that they don't listen. Yes, because you've watched our games, and in as much as we lose, we don't go down that much. Yeah.
Attention then turned to Asante Kotoko as fans awaited their reaction following Heart's victory. Chasing their first win of 2026, the Porcupines produced a convincing display against Baseke Holy Stars. The fixture also marked the return of forward Albert Amoah after a 3-month spell in Libya. With Amoah starting on the bench, Captain Samba O'Neill opened the scoring from the penalty spot before half-time. Amoah entered the fray in the second half and capped his comeback with a standing overhead kick to make it 2-0. His strike partner, Kwame Opoku, replicated the acrobatic finish moments later to secure a ruthless 3-0 win for Kotoko. The Porcupines were also seeking revenge after losing the first leg 2-1. Kotoko head coach Karim Zito expressed delight with both the result and Amoah's impressive return.
Fantastic. He announced his coming back with these two beautiful play, scoring one and assisting one. So at the end of the day, he tell me I'm very happy he's back to help the club.
Elsewhere, Gold Stars fell to Brekum Chelsea, while Mediema defeated Karela to retain their position at the top of the table. Lions suffered a narrow loss to Bechem. Dreams were held to a 1-1 draw by Young Apostles, and Hoho United came from behind to draw 2-2 with Vision. Samatex and Adriana also recorded victories. Mediema remains top of the Ghana Premier League with 43 points, with Kotoko and Hearts occupying third and fourth respectively, both on 35.
Well, as part of the responsibilities of parliamentarians to frequently visit state-owned infrastructure to ensure resources are judicially used, a 17-member parliamentary select committee was embarked on a touring of the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, Boteman Sports Complex, and the Accra Sports Stadium. Chairman of the committee, Mr. Henry Nogbe, who doubles as the Member of Parliament of Ashaman, praised the work put in the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, but also called for maintenance of the Boteman facility.
So far, so good. Generally, at Boteman, it was an eyesore. What we saw at Boteman is something that we need to work on. The facility that costs over $140 million is left for rodents and other reptiles. The place in a messy state. No caretaker, no management, and everything look bizarre when you go to the Boteman.
Well, that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on News360. My name is Oreku Ampofo.
ETP, lifestyled. And Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil. Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for entertainment news. And we have Asiedua, yours truly, in the building.
Right.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much. It feels good to be here.
Good. Well, I'm sure you know the big entertainment story running out in town.
Exactly.
It is that Speed is in the building, just like yourself. And he's been in town. Many people are watching, over 50 million people streaming at the moment. But he's currently at Montia Hamamat's
place.
Yes, and so he's enjoying some...
A shea butter bath.
That's what they call it, right?
Yes, exactly. Shea butter bath.
Right. So yeah, that's Speed. He's been in town. He's been to a number of places. Seems to be having a good time.
Exactly.
What do you make of the whole facade or episode of what we see?
I'm excited about it. For a moment, people thought that he wasn't going to even step a foot in Ghana. So it's good for him to experience the rich culture. I mean, from Ikropon all the way to the Independence Square. And now seeing him here, it's good to see. But in other news, Mental climax over the weekend. And so emerging reggae and dancehall sensation Kwekushai has been crowned the winner of Mentor 14, the breakout edition, sealing a major milestone in his fast rise in music career. The newly crowned champion has assured fans this is only the beginning, promising nothing but great music as he steps fully into the spotlight. From grueling weekly rehearsals and intense vocal training to expert coaching, the journey through Mentor Season 14 has been nothing short of demanding. Week after week, contestants were pushed to their limits, facing setbacks, pressure, and fierce competition, but their hunger to succeed only grew stronger. On January 25, 6 contestants and determined artists mounted the stage for the final time, each one ready to claim the ultimate crown and prove why they deserve the bragging rights. For many, Mentor has been more than just a competition. It has been a lifeline offering hope, exposure, and a real shot at stardom in the music industry. Round 1 teased the competition, but round 2 delivered the real fireworks. For the final task of the night, contestants were challenged to perform their own original composition songs that told their stories and showcased their artistry. Tiki set the pace with options, and the Quams followed with This Is Love.
I'm alive, I'm free, I'm whole.
Then came Kwekushai, who took the stage with Sole. The talented reggae and dancehall artist raised the bar, commanding the stage with confidence and delivering a powerful performance that sealed his dominance. In the end, it was Kwekushai who stood tallest, emerging as the winner of Mentor 14, the breakout edition, a defining moment in his fast-rising music career.
The winner for Mentor Season 14 2026 is
Congratulations! The newly crowned champion has promised fans nothing but great music as he steps into the spotlight.
First of all, when you saw the kind of fans and the kind of people that came out to support you today, how did that make you feel?
I felt very humbled, because it's not easy to get people's heart following you that much. I never forced anybody. These people bought their tickets. Took cars from very far places, Shah Hills and all over, to come support me. It was great. I felt very humbled.
Once again, a huge congratulations going out to Kwekushai and the rest of his runner-ups. That's it for entertainment. I am Asiedua Afenyi. Over to you, Martin and Grace.
Thank you very much. And we also want to say thank you for watching News 360. I am Martin Asiedua Date.
And I'm Grace Hamwajiman. Good evening.